Hello. Hello. Oh, you know what? We had to reinstall our Windows machine, so probably all the volumes are messed up. Right? Like the microphone's probably at like, yeah, 10. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, it's at 64. We all want our microphone at 64, don't we? Don't we? Okay. We've also got horrible echo, I'm sure, because we're also getting the camera microphone. Let's turn that off. All right, so what I'm going to do tonight, I have one goal, and that goal is right now in the game, as you wander around through the game, you go from the overworld into levels, and then you finish levels and you go back in the overworld. And right now, we reload the overworld every time. And the overworld's getting big, and it's going to get a lot bigger. And it's going to have a lot of entities. And every time we reload it, we actually play back all your undo data and stuff. And that can be annoying and slow after a while, especially because my undo data right now is 300 megabytes because we need to do some things to make it smaller. The point being, though, we want this to be buttery smooth because we want players to enjoy this process. And if you're going back and forth to the underworld or the overworld while you play the game, there's no reason to unload it. So let's not do that, right? Right. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Here, where we're going to load a lot, and all sorts of things might go wrong, by the way. We'll see. We'll see what goes wrong. You're only seeing the top left of the screen. Oh, well, I mean, that's the best part of the code. Like, this is so stupid, dude. You add a new capture in OBS, and does it fit it to the window? No. Why would it do that? Why would it ever, when you add a display capture, actually make it fit in the window? That doesn't make any sense. Will it be performance intensive to load both the level and the overworld at once? I don't think so. The main issue that you might imagine is having a lot of textures in memory. But the thing is, a lot of textures are shared between the overworld and the other levels, and most of the other levels are much smaller. And, you know, we can just have a typical texture cache anyway, where, you know, once it's full, we can just evict some stuff that we haven't used in a while. So that's the idea. That is the idea. What just happened? Did Visual Studio finish installing? I had to reinstall my Windows machine because it deleted my home folder. It was great. All right, we can compile. Cool. Now, so I basically want to factor this out. So I'm going to say if level name is equal to overworld, ensure overworld is loaded. All right. And then enter overworld. All right. Now this is already going to be complicated because we've probably already set this as like the active Okay. So ensure overworld is loaded is going to have this anyway. Ensure overworld is loaded. So we're going to be like, let's just do this. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to like load level into manager. And this is going to have to be factored all different because like we assigned the universe name. We already fucking did things. So this is going to take some doing and we're probably going to mess things up. All right. Actually, you know what? We're going to put this down here anyway so that it runs even when we push from the editor. And that's the thing. All right. Bruh. This is definitely gonna involve some stuff, right? So we don't really, this is just to avoid confusion. Like we just want to factor this test code to where it's the most relevant. We don't have overworld tests. Maybe someday. But if we do, it won't be in the batch. I don't think. Maybe it will. Okay, so this, we're going to be like, load level into manager universe name. All right. So that's going to be that code. Oh, it's called level name. Load level into manager. Okay, so we do this stuff. We load entities. We do post-load graphical things. All right, great. So down here, we're going to say, yeah, let's put the name. Anyway, just in case we ever want to make it not be Overworld. Well, I'll just level name. Level name. Level name. Okay, so the thing is, there's a global variable of what is the current entity manager. And yeah, it's called gameplay entity manager. All right, so here's the thing. Where does this get called from? Oh, I don't have bear grep installed because Windows deleted everything. See how fast that is? It was faster to download and run this and search than it is to search using Windows File Explorer. That is where we are at in the year 2020. All right, so What was I even doing before I had to? Oh yeah, I wanted to know where is init level general called from. A few places. Most of them in here. Init level general. Okay, see this one. Time for me to put my clothes in the dryer. Okay, so this is only for advancing. Restart current level. This is weird because this is returning an entity manager, but like, yeah, do switch to level set. All right, back in a minute. I got to put clothes in the dryer. Got to put clothes in the dryer. How's it going, everybody? Okay, so the moral dilemma that I have, which is even more difficult than the moral dilemma in BioShock, is how do I want to structure this? I want it to be as clean as possible. I don't want it to be a confusing mess. And okay, so one of the things that makes things a confusing mess is when you have like an outer structure and then you're calling a function that is pretending to be more generic than that, right? And then it has to ungenericize. And that's kind of what we're doing here. Because we're calling init level general. We're just generally initting a level, right? The thing is, sometimes that's the overworld. So one option that we have is to propagate this structure to the outside. So here, do advanced level. Right. This says return to Overworld. So what does that do? Also, switch to level set Overworld. Okay. Okay. So we end up here We end up here, and then we call init level general. So now complicating this, yeah, okay. So actually we could do it down here, because what happens is we have current level index. And then let's just try it. This might be a mess. But we're going to get something from the in. Okay, so not this. Okay, so we're gonna argue with some of this shit here. Okay, so we get the level name down here. What is all this shit? Okay, hold on. We're gonna argue with the code. So, like, sometimes I let other people type code, and often I don't like what happens. Reset entity manager, gameplay entity manager. All right. And then okay. I think that's what I called it. So, manager. Let's just do that. Okay, so it's that context.entity manager that's a little scary. Oh, because we want to look at hard restart in there. And then, so why are you deferring this? Because we have to run all this code. We have to run all this code. We're not return. Who did this? Who did this? Because sound event filters that out. Yeah, that's fine. Just at least put it at the bottom of the goddamn function. Leaving the defer here in case we accidentally insert stuff below this point, but the only reason is because we are saying doing level init is false, and we don't want anyone to accidentally run after that. Okay, so yeah, but like do it. I mean, we probably still shouldn't put the defer, but I'll leave it for now just in case. Okay. So we get the gameplay entity manager. We might be pushing from editor. We might be doing this. Now, chances are we might be toasting the overworld at some point. Like, that's just going to be happening. What is this? Look, we're doing all this and then nothing. We're computing variables and then nothing. That's great. Okay. Okay, so we don't want to reload the undo data. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Actually loaded. All right. Actually loaded is true. We'll do that. Okay. So oh, but we don't declare here. Okay, so the reason why is because there's a bunch of things like, holy shit, most of this stuff. We're going to do this. I think we might just be mostly returning. Well, no. Like a lot of this stuff you only want to do if we actually loaded, right? So we're just going to cut a bunch of this crap. We're going to be like, do actually loaded. Do things we need to do after actually loading a new level. All right. So all of the things like resetting the time and the turn order and all that, you know. However, some things speed control can actually be here. All right. And wait, am I in the wrong function? No, I've been pasting stuff into the wrong function. Okay, hold on. So many things. Okay. Oh, I see. I didn't close brace it, so it was easy to just like keep going. All right, so we're gonna do this. We're like accidentally changing the order of things. That could break stuff. This really, I should have zoomed out to small text size. All right, and then this scenario. Okay, but this one, what the dude, I'm getting so lost. This, you know, I have the text big for you guys. I hope you understand the sacrifices that I'm making. All right. Wait, fuck. We're in the wrong function again. God damn it. What is happening? Okay, that's why the code wasn't there. Guys, I may have just made horrible mistakes. We might have to redo this whole thing over. Like, I'm not even sure that all the code stayed in. It's fine. It's just one function. Yeah, we might have to do all that again. That was not good. Undeclared identifier hard restart. Yeah. Just got to pass that parameter down. All right. Current sound time. Okay. That's some rocket science shit right there. All right. Okay, so we need to add this. But we need to add this. Let's do this. Let's just let this function tell us if we actually loaded. Whoops, not that. Ensure Overworld is loaded. Right. All right. So now gameplay entity manager. Where is that declared? Where is that declared? Okay. Plus, none of this is even, we need a third thing. All right. Where is this declared, though? I don't see it in the small text. Uh-oh. We might... we might have a backslash situation. Gameplay Entity Manager. There we go. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Non-Overworld Entity Manager. Current Gameplay Entity Manager. This is a pointer to either the Overworld Entity Manager or non-Overworld Entity Manager. All right. Okay. What is all this shit? All right. Just somehow things become unreadable. All right. We'll do it this way. I don't like this word. Don't put words like this in your game. All right. Look at all those in it. Look at all those chickens. All right, so maybe we don't ever have an init here. Yeah. Let's just see if that even makes sense. I don't think it does. I don't think it does. All right. Okay. I don't think you should be setting context in any manager. Screenshot all arted. Yeah, no, switch to level will pick the manager now. That's just how this works. You don't set it. Okay, so this means let's not do that there. That is not, well, I mean, yeah, we kind of need to do that because who knows what these functions are going to call. All right, but we will also this is one reason why you change names just like this, so that you're forced to audit all the places that used it. I see that chat is as high quality as it always is. I'm glad you guys are finding really important issues to talk about. I don't think you set context.entity manager before switch to level. I don't think that's how it works anymore. Oh, we have make entity manager. Right. That's what it is. Okay, yeah, we do a few things. All right, so good reason. Good for us. All right. What will the world look like if those same folks were engaged in real world engineering problems? Well, we wouldn't have the current AI boom because GPUs wouldn't exist. So, rip. Rip. See, this isn't good. Because we don't really have any entity manager. This could be a mess. We might not finish this tonight. Because there are basic assumptions that we are start edited level in gameplay. Yeah, we don't. What the fuck? All right. All right. Bro! Too many variables. Why make and unmake the entity manager and not use static functions instead? What are you, what? What are you what do you mean use static? What do you think I'm doing? It looks like it's object-oriented programming. Why does it look like it's object-oriented programming? That's ChatGPT, I see. It is. You're correct. All right. This is really less exciting than I wish it were, but don't feel like that's right, but enter Overworld. Oh, this was something. That was something I was gonna type, and then we decided not to. I think. I hope. No, you don't switch to level sets it. Switch to level sets it. What the fuck is this? All right. Okay, redeclaration of manager. Yeah, we don't. Okay, well, this is now it may run. The Windows Defender Firewall has blocked some features of this app. Oh, guys, I haven't set all my Windows Defender Firewall exceptions. Who are all these rando a-holes in chat? Yeah, it's a good question. What is going on tonight? Are we back to zero interest rate phenomena? Like what? Okay, fucking... Where's the goddamn thing? Like, why are there 17 screens for all this shit? Like, fucking... Like, you have to do all this to have any hope of your computer running at a reasonable speed. And most people don't know that, and that's why their Windows machine runs like dog shit now. It's probably some other things. Okay. Please complete reCAPTCHA to continue. Because it's very important that itch.io knows that I'm not a robot. Wait. Also, the list of downloads puts the oldest at the top, and that's great. That's great. All right. Hey, Windows protected my PC. Why the fuck do we put up with all this? What is going on? I'm sure glad Windows protected my PC. It was protecting my PC 2 days ago when it deleted all my files. What was I even doing? Oh yeah. The problem is going to be that context.entity_manager is null. Fuck. Context.entity_manager is null. And maybe this was happening before and it was just a silent weirdness that's not that good of an idea. This isn't editor function. What is going on? Get selection, update selection. Why is this happening? Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Like, this was happening on the wrong entity manager before. Because we're initting the editor, which has its own entity manager, but or maybe not, but maybe one of those things. Like, so some of these panels want the entity manager. Yeah, see this is good. So here's the thing that people freak out about, like, null pointers and whatever. But it's actually a very good way to debug your program and make sure that the right thing is happening often. I mean, yes, if you let a null pointer dereference sneak into your shipping code, that is a bad thing. But in cases, like, the problem is if you don't let yourself have null pointers, you have all these sentinels and stuff, and then you have, like, you're just dereferencing the wrong value, right? And that's a great way to have your software not do things that you understand, right? So, okay, so in init editor, make new open world. All right, make new open world, make. So we call make and activate new open world. Okay, see, this is way late. This is happening long ass after all this shit. So now we have this problem that, like, maybe we can't do that early for some reason. This is like the joy of programming. I'm kind of getting a headache. I might go to sleep soon. We might be going back to 0%. Yeah, how much egg on their face do they have that they literally just said, we're not cutting rates for 2 months at least, and then the economy starts going into a full bore crash like the next day. Like, actually the economy's been crashing all year, but, like, if you sniff your own farts in the government, you maybe don't believe that. So the thing is, down here we said get open world, which should have given us a thing. So I'm not sure why it didn't. So we're going to breakpoint there. This is just the kind of... Okay, here's the thing. This thing that we're doing, it's like, hey, we want to do something kind of sophisticated where we used to have just one gameplay entity manager, and now we want to have more than one. And by the way, that implies changing the structure of, you know, when various variables get set that people are using, and it may surface problems, which it currently is, right? Shipping quality software requires this kind of work. You have to be willing to do this. You have to be not afraid of your code. It's like, hey, 10 minutes ago or whatever, at the start of the stream, 1 hour ago, we had a working game. And now we don't, right? But if you don't do this, you end up afraid of your code and people don't change stuff. And then eventually the code just rots or explodes in complexity and nobody understands it because nobody's taking it in control, right? So we're getting it under control right here. Okay, so why that's null when we supposedly made a new open world right there. And maybe it's getting it out of a variable instead of an index. I don't remember. Economy is doing well. Yeah, fuck you. Just, I have no... The only reason you could believe that is if you're immersed in political propaganda all the time. Dude, the economy of the entire world is very close to going into a tailspin right now. Oh my God. That was also ChatGPT. I can't, like, if somebody is so divorced from reality that they're like, oh, the economy's doing great, I just don't even want to talk to that person. Just log out of Twitch and delete your account. Like, bro, the entire game industry has been having layoffs all year. Intel just laid off a giant percentage of its workforce. Like, are you paying attention to anything? We got $100 billion in debt in 3 days. Okay? There's 330 million people in the US if you don't count all the illegal aliens, right? So, like, $3 per person is $1 billion. So we took $300 per person in debt in 3 days. $100 per person per day is how much into debt we're going, right? Some people read too much Steven Pinker and compare the economy to the Middle Ages. I mean, I agree that if you take a very wide, blurry window on the current moment, if you say the economy is the economy from like 1930 to 2030, then maybe it's not doing that bad. You know, relative to past human history. That is true. Just wait until all the vaporware AI marketing comes to a crash. Yeah, I think that is starting I mean, it already had kind of started, but not for the bigger players. Like what had started to happen was, you know, when the AI hype cycle began, all the new software companies proposing pitching for venture capital all had to be AI companies now, right? So then a lot of those stopped getting funded, like I would say probably toward the end of last year, because there's just too many of them, and obviously a lot of them are scams and whatever. But I think the end of this year is when it starts happening for bigger players. Like you're going to have both older technology companies who are bigger who tried to pivot to AI and they don't have anything useful, and people are going to realize that, right? And then you're going to have some of these newer companies that are quite substantial in terms of size. People are going to realize they also don't have anything, right? Your company was bought out by an AI hype company. Oh man. Yeah, that's rough. I mean, of course, like, they have VC money and then they're going to try and spend it very quickly. And yeah. Okay, open world index, set open world. All right. So what does set open world do?